definitely. Like I discovered, a friend of mine introduced me to retrohaling, when you blow the smoke through your nose, and he said you get a lot of the different flavors. At first, I did it, I choked.
Yeah, because it hurts.
Because it hurts. You're just like, ooh. And then he says, oh, you can't do that with all cigars. There's only certain cigars because some are a little spicier and a little bit more harsher than others.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, okay. But this is perfect.
Creamy, huh?
Very creamy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy that we've been able to keep
Glad
those.
that you had this. At least I can say I can smoke it.
Hey,
For the new year.
Absolutely.
And Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. Tiffany is just sharing with us some of her perspective as a female in the cigar world, and how her experience, and every woman's experience, is going to be different. But for you ladies who are curious and somewhat hesitant, it's a wonderful community, very welcoming, all kinds of males and individuals and friendly women. And I don't want you to think that all cigar lounges are like the good old boys club, because that's not the case.
No,
in Drove Stogies, we don't want that at all. We want balance.
It's very welcoming.
Yeah.
To say the least. I can definitely say, of all the cigar lounges that I've been to, I have definitely been able to say that I walked out of there with a great experience. And I've maintained those relationships all the years that I've been smoking.
Yeah.
So, like, at first, in the beginning, it was intimidating because I was so young. And, but one thing is, I wasn't naive.
Right.
So, for someone that's fairly new to the cigar world, I didn't really know anybody. So, my thing was, I used to just go in there and find me a seat. I just sit there, smoke my cigar, and I kind of like, observe, see who's who. And then that's how I developed different relationships. And that's how I slowly felt that I was comfortable enough to have conversations with people in the lounge, because before I didn't want to go in there and have a conversation. I'm like, this is supposed to be like a safe space. It's supposed to be quiet, relaxing, mellow. You don't want to do too much of, have too much of a dialogue. You will, but mostly it's just, people just want to come there to relax. It's drama free. It's not supposed to be stressful. Like, this is where you come and you leave everything at that door.
Yes.
And you just get a peace of mind. You find that happy space.
Yes.
And that's what the cigar world, that's what it did to me.
Yes.
It just, like, after a hard day's work, doing the job that I did, because prior to leaving, I was in the healthcare. So I did hospice for 7 years. And then I started working at Hogue, and I was a scheduler. So that job in itself was stressful.
Absolutely.
So it's like, once I leave work at work, I drive home.
That's the key to success.
I go take a walk out to the water, light my cigar. On my weekends, I would do that. I pack all my stuff for a day of kayaking.
Yeah.
And that was like what I did, in my downtime. Like, that was my release. That's how I unwind.
Right.
And it was nice. I would go to the cigar lounges, every now and again, but it's like, once I found a space where it was just like I could just be just by myself.
Right.
That's when it was okay.
Right.
This is it for me.
Yeah.
But, I did miss the cigar lounge, being able to, go and meet new faces, hear other people's stories, and then, and take something from their stories. Because that's what it really was. It was almost like you just feel like these family, and they just have all these different stories.
Absolutely.
And you just learn different stuff in your life. And then you kind of take what other people do, and sometimes you can incorporate it into your own life.
Absolutely. I've learned a lot from the people that I've interacted with in the social cigar community. And it's amazing. When I first came in, I was a little taken back by the fact that everybody speaks.
Right. Everyone says hello. They say hi. Once you walk in that door,
you're welcomed as one of the group.
They'll get out of their chair. They'll embrace you.
Right.
Or they'll, give you a pound.
Right.
To me, I just felt like, why can't it be like that everywhere you go?
Yeah. It was once I became acquainted with it, it became pleasurable.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's your customer service. That's like the most important thing you can do as a cigar lounge owner. When customers, whether it be new or old, when they come through that door, a nice greeting. It's like a warm welcome, a nice warm welcome. Once they come in, and I've had that, and luckily I've been able to experience that a lot. I can't say that the same experience for like all the women, but a lot of the times I would go into a lounge and I'm by myself. Never been there. I don't know anyone there. I just heard about it from a friend. I walk in, the person, whoever's at the front desk there, or the cashier, they'll walk me into the humidor. We share dialogue, and then, after that, they'll take me to wherever the seating is and say, hey, you can sit here. They'll offer me something to drink. And it's like, that's like, the customer service is like, that's the most important thing, especially for a cigar lounge. And it's nice because usually if the people that work there are like that, also the people that are coming in.
Yes.
And that's a big thing too. It's like, you don't want to have the riffraff there because this is where people make business transactions.
Absolutely.
This is a place of business.
Absolutely.
And I've seen a lot of business transactions happen in, cigar lounges, contracts being signed.
Absolutely. We do it all the time.
Right. So it's like, it's a professional setting, but it's also a very welcoming.
Relaxed.
Very relaxed.
Stressful.
And I would never tell a woman that, if you ever wanted somewhere to escape and you were looking for something to do, not saying that you have to, but, try a cigar lounge.
Yeah. So, Tiffany, we briefly touched on some of the changes that you've now experienced with this move outside of the Southern California area.
Yes.
And how those changes have just manifested in your day-to-day life, as far as the cooking kind of replacing the cigars.
Yes,
and,
it definitely did.
Another passion or taste or something you can work on.
Yeah, I've since I haven't been able to smoke really, I learned cooking. That was from my grandmother. That was pretty much passed on. Like, our family was really big on cooking, so she made sure before I moved out, that was one thing I had to learn how to do. There was no way you were not going to leave her house without knowing how to cook.
God bless your grandmother.
Yeah. So with her, in incorporation of my mom and my cousin, we went from exchanging recipes to me calling her, telling her, hey, like, I need you to tell me what you put in and how much and blah, blah, blah. So the biggest thing was that she never measured anything. So I'm like, okay, how can I do this? And how can I get it to taste? And she's like, you just do a taste test in between. And that's what she used to do to me.
Uh-huh.
And so that's kind of like where it started from. So I just started experimenting and I got really good at it. So I'm like, and then I'm really big on presentation.
Yes.
So I always make sure, you eat with your eyes first. That's what I learned. And so, like, watching the different cooking shows, that's kind of like where the presentation came into play. And before, it's like I used to just go and eat at different restaurants and try different things because I was a big foodie. And so what I would do was I would try to take whatever taste or like ingredients that I would taste in that food and simply try to incorporate it into the dishes that I was making.
Right.
And then after that, it was just like, I throw on my jazz.
Right.
And I just get to going in the kitchen. I just make magic.
Right.
And it was kind of the same like with, people that do cigars. It's the same thing. Mixing and blending.
Developing a palate. Right, right. I've seen some of the pictures you put on social media, and I'm like, wow, your husband is eating good.
Everyone says that.
Oh, my
goodness. He got lucky with that. And I was like, yeah. And I've also, when I was doing events at the Cigar Lounge, I would be the one doing the catering.
I see.
Because I just felt like, where there's nothing like having a home-cooked meal.
Absolutely.
I'm like, why would I pay somebody to cook something I can make myself?
Right.
And sometimes I feel like it tastes even better.
And you can control the quality of everything that goes in those ingredients.
Seasoning.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes.
It's like salt and pepper
is
not seasoning.
Right.
It's not.
Right. Right.
So incorporated that. And then I just, like I said, I took a break from, cigars for a bit since I moved. And, my husband, we have 2 kids. So I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. So now it's like that's been my focus. And I've been teaching them. His daughter especially, she loves to eat. She likes trying new things. And so it's been really fun. And it's like I get to share that part of my life with them.
Isn't that refreshing when kids are open to you showing what you've learned?
Right. They're at that age where I first started with, they want to stir and mix and taste.
Absolutely.
So it's fun. It makes it fun. Even though I have one that's not too keen on food. He's a little picky.
Well.
But my stepdaughter, she wants to try everything.
Right.
And she'll be honest with me if she doesn't like it.
Right.
And I'm like, I appreciate you being honest. And, with kids, they're not going to tell you no lies.
Right,
So
right.
that's been really cool, too. It's like I get to share that with them. I can't share cigars with children. So,
right. Yeah,
so I get to, share my culinary gift with them.
That's wonderful.
So it's been, it's been fun.
That's great.
So I noticed that I did start posting more food, less cigars.
I see.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be moving from North Dakota to Montana? And
we'll be moving in May.
And that's going to give you more opportunities to be outdoors?
I'll be able to go outdoors. I'll be smoking a lot more again. So it was like this, I felt like this was just, just needed a break.
Okay.
It's nice to take breaks. Because then when you go back into it, it's almost like you never left. And it's very pleasurable. It kind of just brings you back to why you started in the first place.
Your appreciation grows.
Right. Your level of appreciation. Because I will say that it's like being able to have that go-to when you're, when you're in a negative space. I know a lot of people, a lot of Black people in general, we suffer from depression, anxiety, and things of that sort. So it's like for people to have that escape. Cigars were my escape. Some people turn to the bottle. You have a lineage of family members that suffered from, alcohol abuse, and things of that sort. So it was like, that's not the rabbit hole that I want to fall into.
I understand.
At least with cigars, they don't have AA meetings for cigar smokers,
Not that I know of.
So, and it's not a bad thing. Most people, they try to make it seem like it's a bad thing, but it's not. It's like, how many commercials have you seen where they were talking about cigar then caused cancer of the throat?
Right.
People talking with the little hole in their throat and they're saying,
a cigarette.
So it's like a cigarette and a cigar. They don't go hand in hand. They're just two separate, entities. So
absolutely. So how do explain to the audience, how does this cigar community look at the cigarette smoker? Because we often will have somebody who comes in here for the first time and they'll ask, can they smoke cigarettes in here? And we tell them, no, you cannot smoke. You cannot mix those smokes. That smell is incredibly different.
Oh no, it's very potent and it's gross. I would say my experience before, when I smoked cigars, I got a lot of good feedback from just random people. As before, a lot of people, they kind of just like cigar smoking is frowned upon, especially for people that's never even picked up a cigar, have ever been in a cigar lounge. Right. I've been places where it was okay for you to have a cigarette, but I can't smoke my cigar.
Right.
It's like, the cigar is too strong. There's customers. I got kicked out of a restaurant off the patio for smoking a cigar in Orange County. And I'm like, but they're smoking cigarettes.
Right.
That cigarette smells worse than my cigar.
Right.
So that's when it was just like, okay, these people are not educated. So it's not my place to educate you because clearly it's not accepted. So why would I waste my breath in explaining to you,
Right.
It defeats the purpose.
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay, I will leave. I won't patronize your business anymore. I'll take my business elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And that's all there is to it. It's like, I'm not going to argue. Okay, well, that's fine. It's nice to know. I know I won't tell any of my other friends
to come here
anymore.
Yeah.
Because I can't, I can't enjoy a smoke, but you're okay in the cigarette. But even going to like cigar lounges, you would get a lot of people that were just like cigarettes, and it's just like, do you see any cigarettes in there?
For sale?
Yeah. I mean, they would have them at the register, but they're outside of the register, but this is cigar smoking only.
Yes.
So I've ran into a few minor, issues in regards to that, but it's just like, okay, well, I know not to go bring my cigars here to enjoy, go elsewhere.
Right. Have you had an opportunity to go to 2nd Street since you've been in town?
I did get to go for a little bit. I was able to reconnect with some people that I haven't seen in almost a year.
Wonderful
people.
Which
was nice. And that's the great thing about when I left. When I was able to come home, I was still able to reconnect with those individuals. Like, we keep up via social media.
Yes.
And things of that sort. But it's just still nice to know that when I do come home, I have a place to call home.
Yeah.
I have a place that I can go and smoke. I can come, like, I'm here now, and I'm
Right.
here at Drobe's.
Yeah.
I could have been anywhere else.
Absolutely.
But I'm
well,
here.
we're happy you're here. We're happy you're hanging out.
And I'm glad that you guys are still open and that I have this place to patronize.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, when you come back, it's going to look completely different because
I'm
all of this
excited about
mess
that.
should be completed. Our bar should be finished. You see what's going on in the back doesn't even look like what you remember when you left.
When I left, you guys were just getting started.
Yeah. Time marches on.
Yeah, but I'm excited about it. New beginnings.
Yes, new beginnings. So when you are in town, stop by Drobe Stogies. We are not far from the airport or the downtown area. It's a wonderful environment here, and we have wonderful people like Miss Tiffany who joins us on a regular basis. Hope all you guys were able to enjoy this conversation. We look forward to you guys giving us some comments and some feedback on what this lady or any other ladies or men that we have come on the show would want to talk about. Please like and hit your subscribe button and press your notifications as well. We at Drobe Stogies can't wait to see you again. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us here at Welcome to the Good Life.